Are you one of those late night note takers? Do you lay in bed at night trying to get to sleep and all kinds of ideas come to you and you suddenly realize this idea is so good that I don't want to lose it, but you find it kind of inconvenient or difficult to get out of bed to go and write that thing down? Well, I've been working on a way of being able to quickly, easily document those late night ideas. Well, if you remember, January of this year is Prong Fest, and that's a little reference to these prong fasteners that our friend Ted Monk got us into using to make handmade notebooks. It's a really convenient binding system. So I got a couple updates regarding this project, so stay tuned. Well, first of all, if you didn't see the previous video on this subject, you might be asking, what are prong fasteners? Well, this is the box that they come in. This is ACO brand, and they come in a box of 50. This is the 2 3/4 inch wide prong fasteners, and they have two parts to them. The base of the fastener that goes underneath, and that's where the prongs are, and you have the top of the fastener that goes over the prongs, something like this, and clamps down on your notebook or your work, and then you have these two little loops that you bend the prongs down. It's like a double action here, and securely bind just about anything that you can punch two holes into. So this was the first notebook that I made with the prong fastener idea, and I've made a few changes to it. So when I originally did this, the prongs were both on the back side and on the front side, but I've taken the front cover off. And so what I've done is I've added another section in here, and there's two articulating joints. I'm using ProGaff brand gaffer's tape, which I've had experience with, works really well and holds well over a long period of time. So this revised notebook now has the front prong fastener hidden inside of it, and also gives you the ability to wrap the front cover around the back so you have ready access to your pages without the cover kind of being in the way. And you also may notice that there's a lot of room in this extra section I added for a lot more pages. So that's just one update to the prong fastener everyday carry notebook idea. But wait, there's more. So one of the things I promised Ted Monk this year is I was going to update my typewriter database gallery with all of the serial numbers of my current inventory and photos of the typewriters, and also with typing samples. So I decided that I needed a new little notebook to document all this stuff in, and so I started this one, and instead of this one opening to the side, this opens to the top. And again, we're using that hidden method of binding so you don't see the fastener on the outside. So what I've done here is I'm using Southworth 24-pound resume paper because it takes a good imprint. I'm typing the name of the typewriter. Then I had shot all of my typewriters last week using a backdrop cloth of white fabric. So then I printed these on Polaroid zinc. They're 2 by 3 inches. They have an adhesive peel-off backing. And then I include the serial number, the data manufacturer from the serial number database, and a typing sample. This is the start of documenting my typewriter collection in a little flip-up notebook, which I think is really a fun idea. This is what happens when you have a 50-count box of prong fasteners, is you immediately start to look for opportunities to use them. This happens to me a lot. I do my best thinking a lot of times laying in bed, just in the dark, just thinking, and all of a sudden I realize if I don't write this down, I'm going to forget it by the morning. So I figured out a little system a few years ago that I use to document these late night nocturnal ideas. Well, first of all, you have to be able to illuminate your notebook at night without turning on the nightstand and bothering your partner. And so I started using this nifty light. This is called a Mighty Bright light, and it's made of flexible silicon rubber, and it has a rechargeable battery that you can charge from one of those older phone jacks, but it is a set of LEDs. And so it's really nifty, and you can bend it over and clip it onto your notebook. So this was what I was using to illuminate my little handy notepad. And what am I using as a notepad, you might ask? Because I had no other real easy way to do it, is I was using, again, these ring binders that I get from Staples. The holes that it punches are like semicircular with a little notch. So it enables you just to pull the pages out or put them back into the ring binder at will. I'm using a piece of cardboard as a backing. See, this is sort of sized similar to a reporter's notebook, so it's 3 5/8 by 8 1/2. And I really like the size of it as far as gripping it, so I was holding it like this late at night, and then I was using one of these nifty Retro 51 pins, but this was my late night note taker. I could sit here and sketch out ideas, draw ideas or whatever without losing them. But obviously this is a less than ideal notepad situation, and now that I've availed myself of a 50 count box of prong fasteners, it becomes obvious that, you know, I might want to redo this notebook and prong fasten it. Well, the next question I need to ask myself is, self, do you want to make a cardboard cover for this nightstand notepad? Well, certainly it needs a back cover for the stiffness of it, and I do have already the cardboard that I was using. There's actually 2 of them, but I do want to find some decorative stuff to put on the front cover at least to make it look a little bit nicer. When I do this, I'm going to have to decide, do I want to stick with this particular size of notebook? And actually, I'm happy with the 3 5/8 width. I can get 3 of these out of a letter size 8 1/2 by 11 inch page, but the 8 1/2 inch length I think is just a little too long. I might trim these down to 8 inch, so I might just waste about a 1/2 inch of paper. All right. Yes, the punch is strong enough to punch thick cardboard. There we go. There's our front and back covers. All right. And the length of this is, again, 8 inches. So, let's do that. 8 inches on the actual vinyl itself. I should probably push that down so it's nice and flat. Okay. This is the front cover. Well, I was looking for some stuff to decorate this with, and I have a whole box full of things I use for collage art. This is something I saved from a few months ago, election season. This was the local TV weatherman running for governor, and anyway, I love this graphic here. I also have these stickers. Okay, I like this one that says attention. Oh yeah, many extras. Yeah, I have a lot of extra ideas. And then this one is, oh, this is a dream come true, because I'm always thinking of stuff late at night, right? So, okay, let's cut this out and stick it on there and have fun with this. 3 1/2 inches. Looks like that would be good. Okay, and then the length of it, I think I could cut it right above the lettering, and then it'll go on the notebook like that. And of course, trial and error is part of this whole process, so I had, in error, forgot that I wanted to make an articulated cover. So I'm cutting some strips that are about 7/8 of an inch wide. I'm going to glue and tape them on the back and have a little hinge part that folds over, and the hole punch will be on the back. These holes I punched up front here, I can cover them with these stickers or something. So yeah, there's always a little bit of errors that happen when you're working on these projects. So now I have this roughly 1/4 inch wide section that will flex and act like a hinge and hopefully give room for the actual prong fastener itself. Okay. You have this kind of a U-shaped joint in there that should give room for the prong fastener to get into. Okay, I had peeled off the stickers that I used earlier, so maybe we can use those to cover up the holes that we inadvertently put in there. Something like that. Moderately funny. And if you're a stickler for detail, you'll notice there's the word ACO stamped in the binder, so I like to have that face up as you're looking toward it from the back. It doesn't really matter as far as functionality, but it is just a little attention to detail. And then put the cover on. And then again, this one, the front also has the word ACO, so I like to have it face up just because, you know, obsessive compulsive and all that. So it is rather humorous. It's nice looking. There's plenty of room in here for more pages. I haven't really made per se a pen clip for this, so we might have to actually end up making a little pen holder loop on here, as Ted Monk does. But hey, there's just a nice little upgrade to my nightstand note taker. Well, if you're like me, the best ideas only come late at night when you're trying to get to sleep. And so you need some way to document those ideas, and I like this system. It certainly improves the original version using these binder rings by using the ACO prong fasteners. Yes, that's right, January is Prong Fest month, of course, here. So I encourage you guys, if you're a late night idea taker, do you have those crazy ideas that come late at night and you don't have a convenient way of writing them down, you don't want to lose them, make yourself a little notebook like this. I like the reporter's notebook size, and I like the form factor of opening up on the top and having a pen ready at hand, and one of these nifty little Mighty Bright lights or whatever, some equivalent to it. These are especially nice because they're rechargeable. You don't have to worry about replacing tiny little batteries all the time. But it's a fun idea because it enables you to get those ideas documented down on paper late at night without turning on the nightstand light and waking up your partner. If you're a crazy note taker late at night, you got to have something like this. So this is just something else to encourage my creativity, to document ideas that I would otherwise lose. I encourage you guys to work on that same process of documenting, capturing those fleeting glimpses into some other realm, and get them down on paper and then go with them. Be creative. Pursue your best creative activities. Have yourselves a great day. Bye-bye for now.